All right, so I got a video that I actually want to share with you. It's a personal video that I want to share with you. So I want to talk about something now. It was about where are we now? So it was about 2 months ago, around 2 months ago, that an idea was presented to me. It was a program that they were doing, which was for a soccer program. It wasn't just once a week; it was like multiple times a week, and it was a soccer program, and that's all it was really. It was just playing soccer. It wasn't what? It wasn't like an actual soccer field or anything like that. It was just on grass using just anything as a post. Well, we were using garbage containers as posts, and there was one net, and then we would play. Started 2 months ago. It ended last week Friday. For me, at least, it ended for me. Now, at first, I wasn't really interested in doing this program. Um, but anyways, I was really encouraged. I was being encouraged by people who were doing the program and everything, that this would be a good program for me to kind of get into some kind of exercise and sporting and all that stuff. So I got into the program. The first day I did not even play. I just watched. I thought it was cool to hang out and watch. Did a little bit of running, just and that was it. Then I started playing. When I started playing, I really started getting a good feel for it, and I started realizing that that how good I was. So the last time I played was in 2015 in jail. They had yard time, and there was one particular range I was on that actually played soccer. So I actually did play soccer at that time. It was a really small. It was basically like a small indoor court. Four walls all around, just a rectangle. Perfect to play a little bit of soccer. I think we played like 3-on-3 with one goal each. So I started playing back again, and I felt good. We played 3 times a week, by the way. So we had 3 games a week. Now, depending on who would come, it was typically 3-on-3, and one net. And there was a lot of spectators too, because that place where we were playing, a lot of people used to come and hang around there. So they would watch. Now, I started off, and I started getting impressed with myself. There were things that I had in my mind that I wanted to do, and I was actually doing in my mind what I wanted to do. Like, I was kicking the ball how I wanted to kick it. I was dribbling how I wanted to dribble it. I was passing how I wanted to pass it and everything. And it just went so well. The first 2 or 3 weeks was incredible. I was getting, like, my blood was going. I hadn't exercised in a long time, so my blood was going. My cardio was getting better. At first, I had no cardio. I could barely play, and now my cardio was getting better. I started using that for myself because it was being so much of a success. It was so successful because I just started playing at a crazy level. Now there may have been maybe 1 or 2 people who were actually playing at a very, very good level. I would say pretty damn decent soccer skills. And that allowed me to kind of gauge against them, and it was just super easy for me. So for me to recognize somebody as being very good. Now, when I say very good, I say, like, when I had a high school team, and I didn't try out for the soccer team, but what I remember from the soccer team, they were really supported. Like, the whole school supported that team. They had so much fan support, people coming to watch their games and everything. And they ended up being disappointing. I think they did decent. Like they didn't make it to semifinals, but they did decent. And but they didn't do as good as they were supposed to. Like, they were supposed to be the biggest champions, the best, baddest guys out there. And they didn't do that well. But I can say that the captains, and I had played indoor soccer in gym class with the captain. There were 2 different captains for different years. And I played with them, and I played with other guys from the team, and I could tell you that at least one of the guys that I was playing with was was definitely way better than the captains, who were the best players on the team, but also, and he was definitely way better than them, way better than them, no competition whatsoever. And I was able to, and this is my personal thing, and I'm talking about it here, but not to toot my, to be very honest, when I gauged myself against a guy was like, I was at a much higher level. One of the things was just simply the running, because I can run very fast. So running very fast is a big advantage in soccer, right? And I used that in the beginning, and then as we played, because we were playing 3 games a week, so it gave me, I didn't have any practice time, but I was playing, and I found myself dribbling incredibly, throwing crazy passes, crossing the ball in for perfect headers, stealing the ball like easily. And then I started dribbling more. I started dribbling with both feet. I started kicking the ball with both feet, passing the ball with both feet. And then what I started doing when I got deeper into the soccer, and it was crazy because it was like, it allowed me to put on skills. Like I've watched practices for Premier Leagues, in La Liga. I've seen the best players play, and I can tell you that, and I know and I'm being very honest with you, I was really playing at like a Premier League level, and I'm not even joking about that. Then what started happening is I started watching soccer games. I started watching old World Cup games and league games. I started with World Cup games like Brazil and stuff like that, watching the talented players play, trying to learn and understand the game, how it's supposed to be played and everything. And I kid you not, I was really playing on a level where like it was just insane. Like displaying that kind of talent and skill on the field in front of people was doing wonders for me. Okay, it was taking me to a crazy level. Soccer being the biggest sport in the world, the biggest, I would say, most difficult and most skill and talent requiring sport in the world, and the most popular sport and the most beloved sport in the world, allowed me to, it really did wonders for me. I mean, it was making me look so good. I was, and what I started doing is I'm watching these players and seeing what they do and trying to match it. Right. So I started doing little moves for deking. Like I watched Neymar and I'm trying to do some of his moves. I watched some of Marcellus, and I like Marcellus, and I was watching his moves. And who else? I watched Mbappe. He did an incredible run. In the World Cup, he was doing incredible runs. Nobody could match his speed, because he was just so much faster than anybody else. He could just kick the ball and run after it. Nobody could beat him on speed, right? And I matched that. And then I watched Fernando Torres. I think it was Fernando Torres. I watched the Spain's team play, and I saw a player run with the ball, but he was trying to show how fast he could run with the ball, like while dribbling the ball, how fast he could run, and it was incredible. And then I replicated that too. I took the ball way back into the field and I just sprinted it like full speed using both feet and everything. I started doing moves with the ball, rolling the ball left and right with each foot. But the run I did very well. I just sprinted and the ball was so well. And I remember people would come out. I remember there was these 3 girls watching around, and to be very honest, like those 3 girls definitely looked like they really knew about soccer. And I remember I think when they looked at me, they thought I sucked, right? And when I started dribbling with the ball, they just went, oh. Like they just went, oh. Like their expression was priceless, because they were like, holy shit, this guy is actually really, really fucking good. Really, really, really fucking good. Like pro level good. And I enjoyed doing that. I mean, yeah, so I was doing that time and time again, just impressing on a whole different level. And eventually, it just started dying, and there was nothing more for me to do. And then I wanted to test myself physically, bumping shoulders and things like that, getting physical and all that, doing different kind of moves that I would use. But it was doing wonders for me. People watching me and me doing it, like being at the level that I was, it was just incredible. Like I can tell you, it was like, and it's funny because they did think I sucked, and the reason they thought that, and the funny thing is that some of the other guys had soccer shoes and shorts and stuff. And I was wearing track pants, no shirt. And I was wearing, and I was, and I had, I didn't even have soccer shoes on. I had high tops on, which are not even soccer shoes. Okay. And I was playing in those high tops. Okay. So at first look, it's like, oh, definitely this guy's not good. You know, he might be physically talented. You know, in the beginning, people just thought I was super fast and I was physically talented. And then when they saw how good I was at dribbling the ball and passing and shooting and everything, dude, I could place that ball wherever I wanted. Okay. Sure, if it's windy and the wind knocks it off, it doesn't matter. Man, you see what you see and you know what you know. You know, that's when I really learned to gauge. You know, I knew when, if I slipped, what made me slip, or if the ball, if the wind went one way, what made it go that way, you know. But I could place the ball anywhere. And I made an effort to just take the ball one day. Like, I just took it out to like crazy distance and just kicked it out. And that ball was going exactly where I wanted. I was bending the ball. You know how they had the old bend it like Beckham shit, how he used to do that. But I was actually bending the ball, you know, which was really nice. You know, just kind of kicking it and curving it in and everything, putting the ball exactly where I wanted, you know, doing all kinds of tricks and stuff. So displaying that level of talent every time I played, it was insane. I mean, it took me from, you know, looking like a loser to like, holy shit, he's the fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, imagine how Neymar or how Ronaldo and Ronaldinho felt in their day. You know what I mean? To play at that level when when there's hundreds of millions of people watching your game in the World Cup and you're performing at that level with the best of the best. You know what I mean? Now, for me, it was amazing because you know, I was just blasting through as far as talent and skill went. You know, we're just a crazy level. You know, this wasn't a boxing match where I claimed to be gifted and all that stupid shit. You know, this was real. This was a real game, you know, where you get really challenged, you know. There's no, you know what I mean? It's so some real shit, you know, and I loved it, man. I loved showing. In the beginning, I just wanted to show how tough I was, how fast I was, how my physical abilities, kind of like Mbappe did. But then I started being like, dude, I got good dribbling. And I started sprinting like the guys that I was watching. Then I started watching the club leagues, the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids, and the Premier League teams, and you know, in Champions League and stuff. And then I was trying to learn the idea of like getting contracts. You know, like how Brazilian players always get really good contracts and stuff. So I was trying to watch them at the league level to see, you know, how guys get paid and get good. So I started implementing that into my play. You know, so that when I played, I was kind of implementing this whole, you know, how the actual league matches and stuff. So I was implementing that into my game. And I mean, it was working wonders. Like, I felt like I could have literally, if there was a scout there and I had been 10 years younger, that I could have gotten a pro league contract. Like, MLS would have been fucking easy. And I'm serious, like, MLS would have been fucking easy. But I'm talking about, like, if had I been in the right place, right time, 10 years younger, I could have gone into a Premier League in Europe, man. Not even joking. But you know, I was really performing at a really high level. And I mean, 3 times a week for 2 months is what? Like 8 weeks times 3 is what? 24. It's like 24 games that I played. You know, in 24 games, you can display a lot. For me, I was using it just like those Brazilian players use it. I was just using that, you know, to just propel me and make me that much better and bigger, and just to make myself much larger and better, and I really used it well. You know, eventually it had to stop. What happened was someone's dog ran onto the field, and I got upset with the dog. I didn't mean to kick the ball at him. I kicked the ball at the net, and it hit the dog in the face. And the owner got mad at me and started talking shit. I called her a bitch. Anyways, not well, you know, she said I fucking suck, and she kicked the ball off, and I said, and the dog kept running on. I told her put on a leash. She put on a leash, sat down. There was no more issues after that. I kind of mumbled the bitch word anyway, so I don't think I don't know if she